Hello grade 8 students and welcome back to a new lesson. Today we are going to continue talking about how to write a description of a place. So please open your book page 29. 2E, Speak and Write. We will focus today on one objective. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to compose 3 well-organized paragraphs about a place you have visited using correct writing mechanisms. Let's do a quick warm-up activity first and see how much you remember. What was the previous lesson about? Excellent! It was about a description of a place. Now, can you find general information about the city? Well done! Barcelona is a coastal city and the second largest in Spain. It's an attractive city and a popular holiday destination. Can you find 2 sites the writer recommends? Great! Camp Nou and Montjuic Castle. Find examples of factual information describing one of the sites. Great job! Camp Nou is the largest stadium in Europe. Montjuic Castle is a place where you will enjoy a beautiful view of the city. Now, can you find examples of the writer's opinion? That's right. If you visit this impressive city once, you will want to visit it again and again. Have a look at Activity C. In this activity, you have to think of an interesting place you have visited and know very well. Look at the questions in the speech bubble and try to answer them. Remember, asking questions is the best way to collect information about the place. So let's get started with the first one. What's the name of the place you have in mind? Of course, there is no correct answer here. It could be any place. It's up to you. One suggested answer is Istanbul City. So where is Istanbul City? That's right. It's located on both sides of the Bosphorus. Does it attract many tourists? Well done! We all know that Istanbul City attracts many tourists from all over the world. What are some of the most interesting sites in Istanbul City? Amazing! Sultan Ahmed Mosque, known as the Blue Mosque, the Museum of Turkish and Islamic Arts, Topkapi Palace, and the Grand Bazaar. Do you know anything about them? One suggested answer is, I read once about the Grand Bazaar. It's more than 500 years old and is one of the largest indoor markets in the world. So what can visitors do in Istanbul City? Excellent! You can visit world-famous mosques like the Blue Mosque and ancient palaces. You can take a Bosphorus tour. Istanbul City is a great place to shop for spices, Turkish delights, and other souvenirs. Now, what do you like most about the place? One suggested answer is, Istanbul is a truly impressive city. The beautiful and super historic monuments definitely deserve to be on your list of must-visit places. Great job! Now you have many details about the city you have chosen. But how are you going to write a description of this city? First of all, pay attention to this tip. Before you start writing, think about the topic carefully and try to come up with ideas which are relevant to it. You can read a book about the city or simply surf the net for information. Once you are done with that, you can go and read through the plan for a description of a place in the next slide. Finally, try to complete the writing plan in the workbook, page 30. So let's have a look at the plan for a description of a place before we start the writing task. The first thing to keep in mind is that your description should be organized in 4 paragraphs. 1 for the introduction, 2 for the main part, and 1 for the conclusion. Let's have a look at the introduction first. Do you still remember what information should be included in the introduction? That's right. You have to give some general information about the place, like its name, its location, and most interesting features. You can talk about the population, how many people live there, or the weather, or some important historic features. In the main part, which consists of 2 paragraphs, you have to mention some of the sites, but without listing them. Also, you have to give some information about each site. These phrases are very handy. You can start this paragraph with, one of the most interesting, well-known places is, or tourists like to visit this place because, and give the reason. And when you want to talk about another site, you can start with, there is also another place worth visiting is, also attracts many tourists, is another top attraction, you can also visit, or don't forget to visit, and talk about the site you want to talk about. Now in paragraph 3, you have to mention what visitors can do in that place. These phrases are very useful. You can start this paragraph with, you can, or don't leave without doing something. If you want to, another thing you can do is, and talk about the thing you want to talk about, or you must also. In the conclusion, you have to give your own opinion. Did you like that place? And why? Do you recommend it to other people? And why? Now please open your workbook, page 30, and let's have a look at the writing plan. Here, you have to complete with some information about the place you want to write about. We have talked about Istanbul city in the student book. So if you want to continue and write about Istanbul or any other city, it's up to you. But here, I'm going to give you another example and write about the city of Lausanne. So what do we know about this city? That's right. It's located in Switzerland. Now what about some interesting features? Excellent. We know that it's the 5th largest city in the country. We also know that people in Lausanne speak French. Now let's move on to the main part. What are the most important sites in Lausanne? What can you see there? Pause the video, take a couple of minutes, surf the net if you want, and try to find the answer. Are you ready? Let's begin. So what can you see in Lausanne? Excellent. Lake Geneva. The Olympic Museum. The biggest collection of items related to the Olympic Games. Now have a look at the second question. What can you do in Lausanne? Pause the video, take a couple of minutes, and try to find the answer. Ready? Let's have a look at your answers. What can you do in Lausanne? Excellent! You can take a boat ride, or take a day trip to the nearby Alps to hike or ski. You can also enjoy the outdoor, or walk through the old town. Great job! In this part, you have to write your own opinion about Lausanne. Do you like it? Do you recommend it to other people? And why? Excellent! One suggested answer is, it's a place worth visiting. It's a travel destination where culture and nature come together. Now it's time to write your first draft. So pay attention to the following. Take all the small details and put them together. Form all your ideas into complete sentences. Don't forget to give the readers enough information to help them picture the place you are describing. Use linking words to link your ideas. At this point, don't focus on spelling or grammar. Once you are done with your first draft, check spelling, grammar, and punctuation. This is a model that can be very helpful for you. The city of Lausanne in Switzerland is on a hill across from the Swiss Alps and beside Lake Geneva. It's the 5th largest city in the country, and people there speak French. There are many interesting places to go and see there. Lausanne is famous for being the world's Olympic capital because it's where the organizers of the Olympic Games work. The Olympic Museum is also there, and visitors can find the biggest collection of important items related to the Olympic Games. Lausanne is anything but boring. You can take a boat ride on Lake Geneva, walk through its attractive old town, or even take a day trip to the nearby Alps to hike or ski. Don't leave without exploring the pretty waterfront area of Ouchy. There are amazing walkways where locals and visitors can enjoy the outdoors. Lausanne is definitely a place worth visiting. It's a travel destination where culture and nature come together, giving its visitors an experience they won't forget. Time to write your own description. Remember to organize your description of the city you have chosen in 4 paragraphs. 1 for the introduction, 2 for the main part, and 1 for the conclusion. Don't forget also to include in each paragraph the information we have discussed before. Until next time, thank you for watching.